Buried for centuries beneath the sands, an ancient evil awakens. When reckless soldier Nick Morton unearths a hidden tomb, he unknowingly releases Princess Amunet, an undead sorceress with a thirst for power. Cursed and hunted, Nick must choose: surrender to darkness or fight an unimaginable force that seeks to claim him as its own. As London falls under her wrath, a desperate battle begins, one that could doom the world or awaken a power even greater than Amunet's. Will Nick escape his fate, or will he become the monster he was destined to be? The movie starts in London 1157 AD. A group of Crusader knights bury one of their own, placing a special jewel in his hands. In the present day, archaeologists discover the tombs of many Crusaders beneath London's catacombs. Dr. Henry Jekyll enters the tunnels and finds one particular tomb covered in mysterious hieroglyphs. He realizes the discovery is very important. Through flashbacks, Jekyll tells the story of Princess Amunet. She was a skilled warrior and was supposed to take her father, Pharaoh Meneptah's place as ruler. However, the pharaoh's second wife gave birth to a son, making him the new heir. Feeling betrayed, Amunet made a deal with Set, the god of death, exchanging her soul for dark powers. She killed her father, his wife, and their baby son. Amunet then attempted to complete a ritual with her lover, using a special dagger to give Set a human body. But before she could finish, the pharaoh's priest stopped her and killed her lover. As punishment, they mummified her alive and took her sarcophagus far away to hide her forever. In the present-day U.S. Army Sergeant Nick Morton and his friend Corporal Chris Vale are in Mesopotamia, which is a modern-day Iraq. They are reconnaissance soldiers riding toward a village under attack. Nick wants to check it out, but Vale disagrees. Despite this, they go anyway and are soon caught in gunfire. To escape, Vale calls for an airstrike which bombs the area and opens a massive hole in the ground. Inside, they discover Amunet's hidden tomb. Their commanding officer, Colonel Greenway, arrives by helicopter and scolds them for acting without orders. Soon after, archaeologist Jenny Halsey arrives. She angrily slaps Nick because he stole a map from her after they had spent the night together. The group explores the tomb, and Jenny notices that statues meant to guard something are facing inward, not outward. The sarcophagus is also chained down and surrounded by liquid mercury, meant to weaken evil spirits. Nick shoots one of the chains and the sarcophagus begins to rise. Suddenly, he has a vision of Amunet thanking him for setting her free. Spiders appear from the walls and one bites Vale's neck. Nick says they are harmless, but something strange starts happening to Vale. The group takes the sarcophagus to their plane and heads back home. During the flight, Vale starts acting strangely. His skin turns gray and his eyes change color. Meanwhile, Jenny tries to read the scripture on the tomb. She discovers that the person buried in the tomb is the Egyptian heiress named Amunet. Jenny also discovers that she has been mummified alive due to her sins. Just at that time, Nick again has a vision of Amunet, in which she tries to perform ritual on her. Nick comes back to present and notices that Vale is standing right next to sarcophagus. He tries to cut the sarcophagus free. Greenway tries to stop him, but Vale stabs and kills him. Vale then moves toward Nick, forcing him to shoot Vale dead. Nick then notices that the plane's engine has been hit by something. He takes Jenny and goes to the cockpit, where he notices something black is coming towards the plane. Suddenly, a massive flock of crows crashes into the plane, killing the pilots. The plane is going down fast. Nick quickly gives Jenny a parachute and pushes her out to safety before the plane crashes. Nick wakes up in a morgue in London, completely unharmed. He is shocked to see Vale's ghost standing next to him. Vale tells Nick that they are both cursed. Meanwhile, at the crash site, rescue workers find the sarcophagus. Amunet awakens and drains the life from two men, turning them into zombie-like servants. With each life, Amunet gains strength. With her zombie servants, Amunet moves towards the city to find Nick. Nick and Jenny go to a pub. In the bathroom, Vale's ghost appears again, warning Nick that Amunet chose him for a reason. As Nick leaves the pub, he is surrounded by rats. Suddenly, he sees Amunet crawling toward him. He panics, but Jenny snaps him out of the vision. She tells him that she learned more about Amunet's ritual. She explains that Set's dagger needs a special jewel, which was buried with Crusader knights in London. Nick suddenly gets a vision of the tomb's location and tells Jenny that he knows where it is. Nick and Jenny find the Crusader tombs and retrieve the jewel. However, Amunet and her undead army trap them inside. They fight their way out and escape in a van. Amunet and her creatures chase them through the woods. One undead crashes through the windshield, causing the van to flip over. Before Amunet can reach Nick, a team of mysterious soldiers captures her. Nick and Jenny are taken to Prodigium, a secret facility under London's Natural History Museum. Inside, Nick sees strange artifacts including a skull with fangs and a scaly arm. Dr. Jekyll explains that Prodigium studies and contains dark forces. Nick notices that Dr. Jekyll is behaving strange. His skin is turning gray and his gloved hands seem different. While explaining everything to Nick, Dr. Jekyll casually takes out a serum from his briefcase and injects it into his hand. He instantly gets back to normal. Dr. Jekyll then takes Nick to the facility where Amunet is kept. Amunet is held in chains while mercury is pumped into her body to keep her weak. She tries to convince Nick to join her, promising him power over life and death. Nick later meets Jekyll in his office. Jekyll suddenly starts transforming into his monstrous alter ego, Edward Hyde. Nick grabs a serum Jekyll uses to control his transformation. They fight and Hyde nearly wins until Nick injects him with the serum, turning him back into Jekyll. Meanwhile, Amunet uses a spider to control one of the guards, making him set her free. She takes the dagger and jewel, preparing to complete her ritual. Nick and Jenny escape as Amunet summons a massive sandstorm to destroy the city. Nick and Jenny run into underground tunnels, fighting off Amunet's undead warriors. An undead drags Jenny underwater, drowning her. Nick desperately fights off the creatures and pulls Jenny's lifeless body from the water. Amunet appears and tries once more to seduce Nick into joining her. Pretending to give in, Nick grabs the dagger and stabs himself. He becomes possessed by Set's power but still controls himself. Using his new strength, he fights Amunet and drains her life force, turning her back into a corpse. Then he uses his new abilities to revive Jenny before disappearing into the night. Jenny reunites with Jekyll, who explains that Nick, now a monster, has vanished. However, he believes there is still hope for Nick as long as he holds on to his humanity. Amunet's body is sealed back in a mercury-filled sarcophagus. Somewhere in the desert, Nick revives Vale and the two ride off on horseback, heading into an unknown future as a sandstorm follows them. Subscribe to our channel. It will motivate us to bring more movie recaps for you.